October 12, 2025, a revelation shakes global power structures. Ukraine's intelligence agency uncovers and dismantles a $2 billion Chinese-funded supply chain, secretly fueling Russia's war machine beneath global sanctions. What began as hidden trade between partners is now a geopolitical earthquake from Moscow to Beijing. For years, Russia leaned on China for survival. When sanctions cut access to chips, engines, and electronics, Beijing filled the void. Under the disguise of Central Asian trade, trucks marked as carrying construction goods were instead packed with drone engines, guidance systems, and microchips. What looked like commerce was covert war support. Chinese firms like Harbin Industrial and Hailong Export Bureau quietly sent the components that later appeared in Russian missiles. But Ukraine's military intelligence, using satellite imaging and AI, spotted the surge, convoys moving at night, guarded and unmarked. The illusion was over. The trail led directly to Russian weapons plants and drone assembly hubs. By mid-September, Ukraine exposed the full network, Beijing's billion-dollar lifeline to Moscow's defense sector. Then came the global shock. Ukraine accused China of supplying targeting data from satellites to help Russia strike Ukrainian power plants. Beijing denied it, but the evidence spoke louder than words. Days later, Ukraine struck back, launching one of the most daring drone operations of the war. Long-range UAVs hit deep inside Russia, from Nizhny Novgorod to Crimea, destroying depots and cutting off trade routes tied to Chinese logistics. Explosions lit the night sky, supply lines collapsed. For the first time, the shadow network went dark. Russia's logistics froze. Cargo records vanished, trains halted, and factories producing drones and missiles went silent. Inside China, panic spread, contracts were frozen, executives disappeared, and internal audits began quietly. It was a cleanup operation behind closed doors. The West moved fast. The EU revived plans for secondary sanctions on Chinese firms aiding Russia. Washington prepared new restrictions on Eurasian logistics networks. Europe, Britain, and the US united, signaling that any covert support for Moscow would face a direct economic strike. As the ruble crashed and production slowed, China found itself in a bind. Beijing needed Russia's resources, but not at the cost of global sanctions. Within days, Chinese diplomats promised Europe a review of trade routes. Satellite images confirmed the shift: fewer convoys, quieter borders. Without a single shot fired at Beijing, Ukraine forced China to retreat. Ukraine's operation wasn't luck, it was strategy. Fusing AI-guided intelligence, electronic warfare, and satellite tracking, Ukraine proved that modern wars are won with data, not just firepower. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan tightened controls on cargo bound for Russia. The ripple effect spread across Asia. As China pulled back, Moscow faced a new kind of defeat: industrial suffocation. Factories lacked chips, drones stalled, and the once limitless partnership with Beijing began to unravel. Even Russia's allies, Iran and North Korea, couldn't fill the gap. The war machine was running out of fuel. Ukraine's success reshaped the battlefield and the map of global alliances. It proved that power isn't just about armies, it's about information, precision, and control. By exposing and cutting China's billion-dollar pipeline, Ukraine didn't just defend itself, it redefined modern warfare. As of October 2025, Russia's isolation deepens, China recalibrates, and Ukraine rises, not just as a survivor, but as a strategist shaping the future of war. Because in today's world, data is the new weapon, and truth, the new victory. Subscribe to World Zone, your front line for real-world conflicts, defense tech, and global power updates.